Alright, so I'm gonna do my video on Naruto. I've been requested by a lot of people to do a video about what are my thoughts on Naruto. Now, Naruto, I have a love-hate relationship with. On one hand, there's some points where Naruto really shines. It's really good. They're really doing a good job with it. And then there are other times I'm just like, I just really hate it because the problem with Naruto is, again, it's the cast. Naruto has so many characters that they really have a hard time balancing who to focus on. Because my favorite characters in Naruto are Rock Lee, Neji, Shino, Kankuro, Gaara, and Guy. And those characters, we don't really get to see them a lot because the story basically has become rescue Sasuke. It's about Sasuke. And I understand that, the whole thing is about the time skip is that Sasuke, basically, his whole thing was he wanted to leave the village and he wanted to kill his brother Itachi. But after that, after we found out that Itachi was basically ordered to do that by the Leaf Village itself, you just kind of go, okay, so Itachi really wasn't a bad guy. He was just ordered to do that. But even still, he was a bad guy because he committed genocide. I mean, I know as a ninja you're supposed to always follow your orders, but you don't have to do that necessarily. You are an individual. You don't have to follow out that order. And with Naruto versus Sasuke, it gets so... It takes over the story so much that I get bored with it sometimes. I'm like, where are the other characters, Like that chapter they just had with Guy versus Kasame. I was like, yes! Finally, we get to see Guy shine. We get to see what he's been up to, what skills he's acquired, and we get to see that he's such a badass. And I really wish they would do that more. Like, I want to see what Shino can do now. That's one character we haven't seen him do anything in a while. And that's really just the base of my problems with Naruto. Other than that, I don't have a problem with it. It pretty much delivers on what it's trying to do. It's that whole heroic thing with Naruto. He wants to be Hokage and he wants to be this great savior, this great heroic figure in his universe and things like that. And while Sasuke is kind of going down that Darth Vader route where you just don't know what Sasuke's going to do. He can end up being a good guy, he can end up dying, or he can end up being a villain. You just don't know what's going to happen with Sasuke. And a lot of the characters really, he doesn't have a problem. Kishimoto doesn't have a problem killing off characters. I will give him that. But he does have a tendency to kind of bring them back from impossible situations. Like with Kakashi, that I thought Kakashi was supposed to be dead when Pain killed him, but he came back, he was revived, and things of that nature. Jiraiya was a sad death because that character, they were building up a relationship with him and Tsunade, and they were supposed to get together, but he ended up fighting Pain and dying in that battle. But that sacrifice had a meaning to it. It was supposed to tell Naruto, hey Naruto, it's time to grow up. People might die in this war, and you might have to kill Sasuke. And I don't know what they're going to do with it, but I think Naruto in his heart is starting to realize that, hey, I might have to kill this guy, but he really wants to save Sasuke from becoming the villain or something like that. He really wants to save himself from having to kill Sasuke. But in my mind, at this point, Sasuke is just, he still can be saved, but he's really confused. He's a confused teenager. He's being brainwashed by all these different people around him. I think when it's all said and done, though, he's going to betray Madara. He really is. His only goal with Madara is getting power, and once he has that power, Madara can kiss himself goodbye. The villains in here are pretty decent. They're all right. My favorite is probably Orochimaru. Orochimaru is the most evil person in the series so far. Um, when that's when Naruto was at its peak to me, when they had that fight with the village versus Orochimaru's crew. That was a good fight. Because the Sound Village versus the Leaf Village, because that fight really showed off other characters. Like, we got to see Neiji's full potential, we got to see Choji's full potential, we got to see Kiba's full potential, and those fights were really good. We got to see backstories on those characters, and now I just feel like it's all really down to Naruto and Sasuke when it comes down to it, because that's what the couple of fights have been about. Like I said, until recently they showed off Guy and things of that nature. There's been a couple chapters where they're showing off, Rock Lee and Neji, but not really. I really want to see them shine. And unlike Bleach, he does give other characters chances to shine. Whereas when in Bleach, they'll just leave a character there. They'll just introduce a character, and we will never really hear from them or see from them again. But yeah, for the most part, I do like Naruto, but I do have my problems with it, which I've just named. I just really wish they would focus on more characters, and they would give more characters screen time. I'm hoping to do that in the later on down the line with those chapters, because I really want to see what Rock Lee and Neji and Shino and even Tenten, what those characters can really do in this series, because for the most part, they haven't really done anything since the time skip. Another thing I don't like about this series is the villains. They do tend to... I know that whole thing what they're doing with the modern age is they want every villain to have a backstory. And they have... Every villain in this series, for the most part, in the Atsuki, they've all had kind of their own viewpoints of on what they're doing, and they don't really seem like villains. They just seem like people who were confused, and they were just led down the wrong path. Whereas Orochimaru, he feels like a real villain. He just does stuff for the fact of being evil, And everybody else just seems like a confused, or they were led down the wrong path. That's really my problem with the villains in this series, with the exception of what's his name, Kabuto. Kabuto right now seems like he, since he has Orochimaru's cells in him, he just seems like he's pure evil. That's one villain I'm liking a lot. Zetsu, I really don't know what to think of Zetsu. He's really more just an experiment for Madara, and Madara himself. Yeah, he's a villain. He's kind of like the big arc villain, the big boss, the head honcho, the boss of bosses. But I don't know what to think about him. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're gonna go back and give him a backstory too. They already kind of have, but we really don't know his face. We don't know if he's telling the truth. I think he's lying about being an Uchiha. I think he's something else. But we're gonna find out sooner or later. But for the most part, yeah, Naruto was pretty cool. I don't have too much of a problem with it, but yeah, it's an alright series. It has its ups and it has its downs, and that's really all I have to say about Naruto so far. I'll probably start doing chapter reviews on it if you guys would like me to. I'll probably just start doing chapter reviews and stuff like that, and let you guys know what I think about it. All right.